Yeah, it depends on, you can do whatever you want. I mean, the book's just an option for you. You don't have to do that. So any questions about Deal Machine?
How long have you been using it?
I met the guy in beginning of April, so I used it for a month and then I stopped because I was so mad. I was so mad, you guys. I'm like, I've been using something similar for well over 2 years and I bought houses. This guy goes the extra mile and creates an app for it. And that was just me being like, oh, come on, man. I didn't want to give him money for something that he created that I had already been doing, but he built a way better system than I ever had. Like, I'd go home and I'd like research like 4 or 5 hours trying to find all the property addresses and stuff and put them into manually and write it all out. Where this guy has it just a click button. So I sucked up my pride and I started again full thing in May. So since May, I've had 4 calls and I've actually walked 1 property. Yeah, so it's very, haven't closed on anything yet, but I've been getting phone calls and that's, for me, I'm getting up to bat. So.
And what do you do on your second and third? I guess we'll get all these templates. So
Yeah, you'll get all that stuff. It becomes a little bit more aggressive, urgent, yeah. So.
It says final attempt, and that looked like your 4th one. Is that your normal?
No. So it'll go for 12 emails. I'm working on him right now. He has an update coming on. I'm working on having him integrate my templates into it and having my sequence into it as well, so that it automatically will send on the 12th one my final one. Yeah. So he's a really cool guy. I've been working with him pretty closely on this.
Yeah, I've heard him on podcasts.
He's. I mean, like I said, he's smart, man. He saw an opportunity and he created it, and I'm happy for him. At first, like I said, I was like so jealous, and I was more jealous than anything. I was like, oh man. But now I'm like, dude, it's a great resource. I'll freely endorse it and let anyone use it. So cool. Anything else on Deal Machine? Karen's the one that ripped it up and sent it back to me, by the way. That came from New York. Oh, I love it.
What's interesting is she sent the postage, took the time.
They'll do this in this business. They will do this in this business. Those little handwritten notes I told you about, the invitation mailers, I've had little old ladies scribble it. You can tell they're old ladies, like the way they write. Scribble and say, I'm so sorry, hon, but you got the wrong Julia Brown. I don't own that house. I wish you luck in finding it. Please stop mailing me. All right, so that's Deal Machine. Track your miles. This is a business for you. You guys get a write-off on your miles. I use an app called Mile IQ. It's really smart because it knows exactly where I go, and if I go to a place more than 1 or 2 times, it'll say, do you want to is this automatically a business trip? Yes, it is. And so it becomes very intuitive. So I'm only like doing like new properties that I'm going to. All my other stuff, it's automatically charted. And it knows the difference between personal and business because you've identified it. You swipe right for business, swipe left for personal, yeah. Is anyone else using this? Yep. Awesome. Sweet.
the cool thing is it tracks all the time.
Every time. It's always on. I think I ended up getting a write-off of like $55,000 last year for all the miles that I ran.
What's the name of this app again?
Mile IQ. I'll give you a promo code. Gives me money. Let's get. Let's see here. So yeah, definitely want to treat it as a business. This is track your miles. So all right, we're gonna. So code enforcement. That's the next one, guys. So both code enforcement and list and fire incident reports can be requested. Be cool with the city and the county fire departments, guys. They're hardworking guys. Code enforcement guys they're overworked. I got 2 guys in my county in Yuba County, and they have a bunch of properties. I've become really good friends with them. I can call them up. One dude's name is Eric Ball. The other guy's name is get this, Lincoln Eden. It's a cool name. So I'm like, what's up, Lincoln? It's like, what's up, Ryan? In fact, one of the properties that he had on his list, the way I found him was I was actually mowing the lawn for this old man because he had a code enforcement infraction, and he rolled up. He's like, what's going on? Did you finally? I'm like, oh, I'm just helping this guy out. It's just kind of fall on bad times, stuff like that. He's like, oh, that's really cool. We became good friends. He now sends me his lists of his code enforcement stuff. He'll call me up whenever he has something. He's like, hey, man, this is a house we've been tracking this person we can't do anything with. So he's given me a lot of good ones. He's really cool. In fact, this house here on the old template came from a Lincoln Eden list. And yep, house is definitely vacant. And what will happen is he'll call me up when he's frustrated. He's like, I can't find this person anymore. Maybe you can go work your magic. Because I've been able to do that. By the way, donuts go a long way with these guys. If you can't get the city to work with you, because code enforcement's at the city hall. That's where they're at. Bring some donuts in, make some friends. You'll get what you need.
Fire department, bring ice cream.
There you go.
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's great to know.
Yeah.
That's insider information, by the way.
Yeah, don't do donuts, do ice cream.
Because you guys are pretty fit and stuff like that. So ice cream, like a tub or what? Anything?
Hey, you know, the cheap 5-gallon tub or whatever, vanilla works just fine by them.
That is great. That is great information, guys. I wouldn't have known that. I actually didn't have to do the donuts for the fire department. I went down there, met with the secretary of the fire chief. She goes, just fill it out in writing, and I'll get you to you in 72 hours.
And a liter of root beer?
Hey,
There you go, man. So here's my code enforcement list. Look at that. Like I said, Lincoln Eden, right there. And then the fire department, my building fires, the addresses, the structural damage, all that stuff. It's all there. So
where are these on your priority?
on my priority, they're very little. If you remember the list here, I'll show you. So these are also in order of priority. I go to probates, pre-foreclosures, run down pieces of crap. Code enforcement and burn downs are low, and then tired landlords are my last. So I will burn down houses. Most of them have insurance, and they're rebuilding. Some of them hasn't happened yet, but I've heard that if you can find the right person, they can just take the money from the insurance and bail and sell you the property, and it's a double win. Because they've already cashed the check. So, but like I said, I've never closed on a fire property yet.
If you know the right person, like the right attorney.
No. The right person who's like at the right time in their life, like,
Got it.
borderline, I can rebuild or I can let it go. Yep.
want to change in their life.
Exactly, yeah. So unlawful detainers, ULDs. It's a protected class. It's hidden for 60 days after filing anyway. So it's going to be hard to find these people. They might have already re-rented the property. You can search at the courthouse. It's easier just to see the posting and contact the owner. You'll see these all over the place. They're in the window. So when I say look for windows, this is your shortcut to finding these.
Where are these? Weird thing is, I was downtown Sac. I seen 3 of those on a fence, chain link fence, and 2 of them in the walkway.
Yeah. So they have to post them all over. Did you ever do posting? That's the sheriff that does the postings. Yeah. So the sheriff does the postings and the lockouts, by the way. Which, by the way, I'm going to do a lockout on mine. It's crazy, guys. I'll get to it in a different module, but the crap that's going on right now. They filed a restraining order against me for harassment because I was asking them to pay their rent.
Did I tell you I knocked on that door?
Did you? Well, you have to pre-foreclosure right now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
knocked on that door and I started talking to them and they told me you were the owner.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa, I'm out of here.
Well, they said someone came to my house, stopped sending people to my house. So we're at court. We're in court, and he's like, "Yeah, he keeps sending his friends over. They slashed our tires. They put nails in the driveway." And I'm like, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, "Your Honor, I don't know what they're talking about." So now I know. My friend's coming over. Did you slash our tires?
I didn't tell them that. I told them we do the same thing. And that's all I said.
That house should have been sold already.
But I told them, no,
Yeah.
I can't help you.
Oh gosh. I own that house, and it's in a trust, and I can't get them out to fix it up to have my rehabber over there to see if it's even worth our time because it goes to auction beginning of next month.
Oh, well.
And I've been dealing with these people for a long time in court. In fact, oh gosh, I'm going to have to do a sheriff lockout. We got a stipulated judgment on it. So I'm telling you guys, landlords, when they get something like this, they're done. They are so done with this property, unless they own a lot and they just understand it's just the game. This particular house here has, no, not this one, it's a different house. There's another house. The eviction happened in February of this year. House is still vacant. Letter still on the door. I'm like, this is months have gone by. This house should have been turned over already. The guy, the owner, owns a pool repair company, and he's just obviously not returning my phone calls or anybody else's. Excuse me. But these owners are so done. So like in my situation, my tenants that are in this property, they've caused so much problems. We've gone. I got video. I actually have a video here. on my phone actually, and on my computer. They claimed habitability issues. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a precursor onto evictions and stuff like that. They claimed habitability issues, and so by law in California, they do not have to pay rent if it's a habitability issue. They can withhold that.
What makes it habitability?
That's up to the courts to decide. So they have certain things that it has to meet. You have to have running sewer. They have working sewer, electricity, things like that. So they're claiming that my electricity is bad. 4 different times I've hired a contractor to go out there, an electrician to go out and do the jobs. And 4 different times that he's all been shut down. So I went out there with a police escort, civil standby basically is what it was. Got shut down, video recorded that. Went out there again and with my contractor and was shut down, and I recorded it this time so I could play it at court. I recorded it, and it was, there's nothing wrong with this house. We don't need any repairs. Get off my property. Thank you, no problem. That's all I needed. So I went to court and I used that, obviously. We got a stipulated judgment that says they will move out of the property by June 8th. If they're not out by June 8th, then they're gonna, the writ's gonna be posted to go ahead and evict them. Take it out. It might take another couple of days. I've been getting emails left and right now since Monday. It's too hot. The air conditioning is broken. We're dying. All this crazy stuff. And I'm like, last time I checked, air conditioning was not a habitability issue. So I went and looked it up. My attorney says it's not habitability. So I wrote back and I just said, my attorney says that because it's not a habitability issue that we're just going to have to wait to fix it until you're done. And so now he's like, oh, because the air conditioner, I need 2 extra weeks. We're not ready to move and all of this stuff. So now they're asking for 2 extra weeks. And this last text I got this morning was, please, for the love of God, have some mercy on us. We have small kids. We're trying to move. I'm like, there's no small kids in this house. There's no small kids. So you're just getting to this point. So I'm at this point now where you went to this house, this house should have been flipped already. We should have already been starting construction on it, but I cannot pull the trigger to pay off the existing loan until my contractor goes in there and says, Ryan, this is a house we can work on, or Ryan, this is a house that you just might as well just let the bank have. And the situation is that I bought it, I took over the trust, and we were going to do a short sale. And the lender came out and did their own appraisal on the property, and they said, I'm sorry, this is not a short sale. You have $100,000 in equity. I'm like, how can I have $100,000 in equity? This house is falling down. But not quite to be inhabitable, right? So, but anyway, that's the situation. So I'm laying the foundation because we're going to go into some deeper dives into being a landlord and going through that process of the psychological battles. Because here's the thing. I planted the seed early on for them not to refer to me, but refer to my attorney as the higher authority. I can't make decisions. I'm sorry. I'm not that guy. I'm just a property manager. Talk to my attorney. And so always my attorney, who is me, responding back to him, is, sorry, no, can't do that. No, this and that. So you always want to make sure when you're negotiating, you have a higher authority. But we're going to get into deeper dives into that. So any questions? Great. We're going to go to lunch then.